Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about some of my favorite patio picks for 2021. These are some of my favorite products from some of my favorite retailers. Okay, first let's talk about one of my favorite retailers in general, and that is Article. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Onya beach chair. It comes in this beautiful rattan and has this really gorgeous black detail, which I think makes it feel really special. It also comes with these gorgeous gray cushions. This really just has a nice beachy sort of vibe to it. I think it would work well in a boho space. I find that patio furniture these days, so much of it is coming in rattan, and for good reason, because it just has this really sort of relaxed sort of feel that's perfect for an outdoor patio space. So even if you're maybe not looking for that sort of eclectic rattan in a boho space inside, I still think it works really well for an outdoor space. Just because you want a space that feels really relaxed and really open and friendly, and just rattan just does a really great job of doing that. It also comes in a sofa too, but I've selected the chair for this video because I just think it's really cool and I love the shape of it. Okay, next up on my list is the Solina white Terrazzo stool. I really love this stool because you know I love Terrazzo. If you saw my 2021 trends video, Terrazzo is definitely having a moment. I think it looks really, really gorgeous in this stool. I love that it's multifunctional. You can probably sit on this. I would assume it would support your weight. Yeah, it's a stool, of course it would. But you can also use it for holding drinks. You can use it as sort of a side table, so it's kind of multifunctional in that sense. It's also lightweight, so you can really move it on your patio, so it's super flexible. Really, really love this stool. I also think you can also switch it up and bring it indoors during the winter. Bring it inside and it would look gorgeous inside your space too in the wintertime. Okay, next up on my list is the Callais sofa. Now I'm gonna be honest, this is a little bit biased because I have two of these. I love these sofas because my favorite thing about them is that they've got these really wide, beautiful armrests. And I love that because that's where you can put your drinks. So it kind of eliminates the need sort of side tables outside. Sometimes if you might not have the space to have multiple side tables, it is still nice to not have to worry about the side tables because then you don't have to really worry about matching them, and you can kind of put plants next to them, which is really gorgeous and what you kind of want to do when you're outdoors. So I love that this is a great place to put drinks. I also love it's got this little sneaky section down below, so you can put little cute plants or herbs or something like that, and you can sort of really kind of integrate it really well into the space. It's really heavy, it's really substantial. I've had it out there for a year. Honestly, it looks the same as it did when I first bought it. And it also has these really deep cushions. So you might not be able to tell from this photo, but trust me, this is a couch that you can curl up in. It's really great for those sort of summer evenings when you've got the wine and you've got maybe the fire pit and you're just sitting there chatting with friends. Remember when we used to have friends? Those were the days. Maybe they're coming back again, let's hope. And it's just really great for having those nights because you can just sort of curl up on this couch. I can just tell you it's really, really beautiful because it's got these really gorgeous deep seats, which I really love. Next up on my list is this Bori lantern and stand set. It's got this really, really cool sort of iron and rattan look to it, which is kind of neat. It's battery operated, so you don't necessarily need to have access to electricity, which makes it super flexible. It also comes in a smaller size and just a really great way, even in your outside space, to layer in your lighting. I know we've talked about that in previous videos about doing that inside, but it's important to do that outside too. So you've got kind of a stand lantern, but then you've got this other standing lantern, and you just got different ways that you can layer your lighting outside. More on other ways you can layer your lighting further on in the video, but I think it's a really, really great option. Next up is the Aeri lounge chair. This is another one that I loved from last year that Article has kept around. Again, it's got this boho sort of look to it, but it just looks like a really gorgeous sort of comfy side chair. I wish I got this side chair for outside. I actually selected a different one. Long story, I wish I got this one, but anyway, there you go. Really, really cool. I think it's one of the best lounge chairs they probably have for outdoor at Article. It's just kind of, again, you got this relaxed beachy vibe like we've talked about before with the rattan, and I think it just carries through in this chair beautifully. Okay, let's change it up and talk about a different retailer. Let's talk about one of my other favorites for patio furniture, which is West Elm. First of all, no conversation about West Elm patio furniture is complete without talking about the Portside collection. The Portside is a bestseller. It is one of the classic collections that West Elm has had, I think, for a number of years now, and for good reason, because it's kind of got this sort of weathered, outdoor, relaxed sort of wood sort of texture to it, and it comes in a whole bunch of different types. It comes in chairs, sofas, sectionals, coffee table. It comes in like a whole bunch of different things, so you're able to mix and match. I wouldn't say go for the whole thing because I don't look a little bit too matchy and I don't really always love that look, but definitely you can kind of pick from different pieces, and it just always kind of has this really sort of minimal and relaxed look to it. It's a beautiful set, comes in lots of different options. I love that it comes in a smaller footprint, but it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. I love that the back ledge of this sofa has a spot for you to put your drinks. Just be careful for when you're sort of leaning back, but still it's a great option that's there. Comes in different types of wood. It comes in different types of fabrics. Honestly, you can go nuts with this set. I also really love that it's kind of got this sophisticated, beachy vibe to it, which I think just works really well with the other pieces that West Elm offers. Another outdoor collection that I love is the Playa collection. This sort of has kind of a Scandinavian sort of inspired look to it. I think it would look really great with the Portside, so maybe if you don't want to go too matchy-matchy and you want to mix them up, I think there's definitely room to do that. It's got a really slim profile with clean lines, and it's got this eucalyptus and mahogany frame that's really wide and really big and perfect for relaxing. Next up is the Framed Arrows indoor-outdoor rug. So I picked this one mostly for outdoor use because well, a lot of outdoor rugs can be taken inside, but not a lot of indoor rugs can be taken outside. So I've sort of picked this up as an outdoor rug option for you. It comes in these really gorgeous sort of warm colors. It's just got this really gorgeous pattern in these warm, inviting colors. And it's got loads of different color options as well, so you can check those out too. I found this Cami ceramic side table, which is super, super cool. Comes in these different colors. It can really sort of double also as a plant stand. That's something I really like to do, is take stools or things that are advertised as stools, but then double them as a way to sort of get your plants off the floor. So you're really sort of creating a intriguing space because you're bringing different plants at sort of different vertical heights, which I just think makes for a more interesting and dynamic patio space. So you can really do that with this. You can take this stool and you can put plants on it. You could use it as a stool. You could use it as a side table. It's really flexible in that way. West Elm also has these beautiful mid-century wood lanterns, which has sort of had this glass hurricane that you can store candles. So it's made of mango wood, really, really cool. And it's great for candles, which are awesome for outdoors. A lot of people really forget that candles are really beautiful outdoors. The biggest problem is that when it gets breezy, of course, your candle will blow out, and that's what these glass hurricanes are for. So again, we're layering your lighting. You're creating just a really interesting space, especially as we're getting into these warm summer nights where you can spend more time outdoors for longer. Something like this is a great way to sort of add some ambiance to your outdoor space, because sometimes we forget about that. We assume patio space is always going to be bright and light, and not necessarily. As these days get longer, you're able to spend a lot more time outdoors. So bringing in candles or different types of outdoor lighting is a great way to sort of create a more interesting space long into those evenings. Okay, moving on to another one of my favorite retailers is CB2, and I really wanted to talk about this Hazel Teak dining table. It's really beautiful. It's really modern. It's actually a collaboration with Brett Beldock, who is a fashion designer turned furniture designer. So this is sort of a collaboration with CB2. And this is actually the largest table that CB2 offers. So this is really beautiful for like a larger patio. So if you're creating like a really big, large patio space and you have the room for it, this is a gorgeous statement table. Okay, next up is the Sophia Black dining chair. I really love this dining chair because it is stackable. It's a really good price point actually for CB2. CB2 tends to be a little bit on the pricier side, but this is a really good price point for this. So it's stackable. It feels really breezy and airy. It works with a lot of different design styles. I think no matter kind of what sort of patio you're trying to pull together, I think it would work really well. I think it works really well with the dining table I just talked about. And I think it's just a really cool hand-woven resin rattan chair that you should take a look at. I really liked it in the black, but it comes in a whole bunch of colors. Okay, here's the Santos speckled planter. I actually have one of these. He's super, super cute. He's one of my favorite planters that I have outside. It's handmade with hand-poured glaze, and it's also got this really interesting speckle detail, and it's just a really fun, cute planter to sort of mix in with all your other planters that you have outside. I also want to talk about the Bizert, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, three-piece sofa from CB2. This thing is beautiful. If you have the space for it, it is gorgeous. It's got this really beautiful black detailing, which I think makes it really special. And this is part of the overall Bizert collection, so it's great for larger spaces. So if you have the room for it, then I think this is a really beautiful collection to take a look at from CB2. Finally, from CB2, I want to talk about the Watermark brass bistro table. I think this made an appearance in last year's video as well because I just love it so much. Just a really cool, like elegant, interesting, beautiful bistro table to put outside. I think a lot of people, you know, if you're looking for something a little bit more formal, this is a lot of fun. It's a little bit glam. It's a little bit sophisticated, and I really love that. So if that's kind of the look for an outdoor space that you're looking for, this is a gorgeous bistro table. If you're looking for something a little bit more fun and funky, maybe look elsewhere, but this is just a really interesting sort of glamorous higher end table, I would say, to put outside. Okay, next let's move on to another one of my favorite retailers, which is IKEA. And we're gonna talk here about the Svartra. These are the outdoor lights that you can put, the string lights that IKEA offers. First of all, these are difficult to find. So if you find them at your local IKEA, pick them up because they always sell out, I swear. But I managed to score a few boxes and I love them. What I also love about them is that they're actually made of plastic. You wouldn't necessarily think that. You'd assume that they're glass. I always did, but they're actually plastic, which I think is really smart for outdoors, which I think is also really great because I think it makes it still feel like it's glass. It looks like it's glass, but it's going to be a lot more durable and last you more for longer term because you break one of those bulbs and you pretty much have to throw out the whole set. So I think this is really cool. The Svartra is a really awesome set. Just sort of adds kind of a whimsical feel. And again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you're layering your lighting. And I'm a sucker for string lights. You know, when it comes to an outdoor patio space, especially as you get into those longer summer evenings, I think having some string lights just really makes the place feel special. Okay, two other outdoor deck tiles that you know I love from IKEA because I've talked about them before is the Malston and the run-in deck tiles. So these are just sort of a click-in set that IKEA offers, great for renters, great for small patios, just a really great way to sort of upgrade that flooring and make it sort of a little bit more interesting, and you can really sort of get creative with the patterns. You can do them, run them straight across, you could like cross hatch them, you have lots of different options on how you put it together, but it's like really not like a permanent solution in the sense that, you know, it's not like you're kind of putting out paving stones and all the rest of it. You're not changing out your whole patio. It's not a whole renovation. You just click them on and you just put them over top of whatever surface you're looking for. So it's really affordable and a really great option from IKEA. So check those out too. The Havston chair from IKEA is also a beautiful outdoor chair. It's got this really big, squishy, sort of loungy feel to it, which I think is super cool. It might be difficult for some people to get in and out of, I'm not gonna lie, because it's really close to the floor. Some of these, you know, they're made for lounging. When you're in, you're comfortable, but they might be sort of hard for some people to get in and out of. But just a really cool, big, stuffy, you know, squishy, loungy chair that you're just kind of looking for in an outdoor chair sometimes. So definitely that's a really cool option too. It also doesn't scream IKEA to me. It sort of feels a little bit like I wouldn't expect this to be from IKEA. Okay, next up is the Stockholmen. I'm not pronouncing any of these IKEA names properly, but y'all know how I feel about this. It's like, it's not easy to get it right. The Stockholmen is a really, really cool outdoor teak bench. So, you know, we talked about some other items where we had incorporated some rattan, or we talked about different wood elements from different other retailers, but this is a really cool one from IKEA that's definitely worth checking out. I think this is just a really cute little seat for you to have. It doesn't really double necessarily for drink storage like some of the other side tables and stools that we talked about, but I think it's really, really cool to just have some extra seating. And it's just really cute. And again, it just sort of doesn't really feel like it's from IKEA, but it's kind of bringing some of those natural elements into your outdoor space. Okay, here's another one from IKEA that I love and you wouldn't think, I don't know if you'd necessarily think I would love this, but I think it's really cool, is the Tranaro. This is a really cool stackable side table. It comes in a whole bunch of funky colors. And I just think if you're looking for a pop of color in your space, if you're looking for something really fun and funky and a little bit kind of different than, you know, typical things we maybe talked about here today, this is a really cool, fun, stackable table. So again, you can stack a whole bunch of them. You can bring them out. I love stackable items, especially for outdoors, because you don't need them all the time. So it's nice just to kind of have a whole bunch of them, stack them all together, and then just bring them out on an as-needed basis. So super cool side table. Comes in a whole bunch of colors. Obviously, because it's IKEA, it's a great price point. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, a few more items here I've got from Wayfair, which is a retailer I don't talk too much about here on this channel, but here we go. First up, I think, is the Afrodull, that sounds like an IKEA name, but it's not. The Afrodull concrete fire pit. So this is really cool. I have a fire pit from Wayfair actually, and they're really, really great because, you know, Wayfair is the type of retailer where something like this works really, really well, where you're not gonna get it from some of the specialty furniture retailers I talked about, but this is a really gorgeous concrete finish. I love a concrete fire table for outdoors. So it's very slim, it's very sleek, but it's just kind of got, it's like different from those typical sort of fire pits that we sometimes see that are a little, you know, with the blue glass. Like, I'm not a big fan of those because I just think it looks really unnatural and kind of maybe a little tacky, sorry. But this concrete one is not tacky. This one's actually really cool, and it's just kind of feels really sleek and elegant, and a really great option. I also really love the Astra fire pit cover. Check this one out. It's really cool, a little bit interesting. And again, you're covering up that ugly propane tank. That's something that I think is really important to do. It also doubles as a side side table. Wayfair is also good for a lot of really like kind of accessories like outdoor cushions. So I'm going to link to a bunch below. They've also got some ones that are questionable. I should do a buy this not that Wayfair edition, shouldn't I? But until then, you got some really sort of questionable options on Wayfair, but you got some really cool ones too. So I'm going to link to some of the ones that I really like. Just got really like funky patterns, bringing in a bunch of different colors. And the thing with Wayfair is they have so much product. So if you're looking for a certain cushion, but you're looking for say coral, or you're looking for sage, or you're looking for mustard, or like you're bringing in different random colors, I'm sure they've got it on Wayfair. So I'm just gonna link to some that I really like here. I also found on Wayfair this Sardinia black and white pattern rug, which I think is really cool. It's got this really interesting pattern to it. And an outdoor rug is something that a lot of people don't consider, but I think just like an indoor rug, it sort of really grounds the space and sort of helps define the space. All the same rules, by the way, for buying an outdoor rug to an indoor rug still apply. But it's like in terms of spacing, don't get one too small, you know what I'm talking about. It's a really cool rug, comes in an interesting pattern and a great option as well if you're interested in an outdoor rug. And finally, I want to talk about the Copenhagen stacking teak dining chair. I love this shape. It's kind of an iconic shape. It reminds me a lot of the elbow chair, but it's an outdoor teak dining chair. But again, it's stackable, which I'd love for outdoor. So I just think this is a really beautiful sort of Scandinavian inspired dining chair. It's not your typical dining chair. Sometimes in my patio, for example, I like to go really fun and funky with my outdoor patio a little bit more than my indoor stuff. But if you're looking for something really in a kind of a classic, elegant shape, then I think this is a really beautiful option from Wayfair. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful spring and summer and enjoy your brand new patio space, maybe with some of the picks that I've outlined here today, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.